Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Bonnie.
How are you today?
I am really excited about today because we start doing Thanksgiving foods and I love it. Love it.
I've been thinking about Thanksgiving already, so I'm ready to start thinking about the food to go with it. So
That's right.
I know you're sending me recipes, so I have like a bazillion things. So what are we going to start with today for your first favorite?
I probably should have started with pumpkin pie, but I think we'll do that next week because that's one of my favorites. But today we're going to start with a 5-cup fruit salad.
Oh, that sounds good.
This is one that my mother-in-law always did and really liked. And then it's become a favorite of my family and it's so simple to do. So
it's like a family tradition thing?
It is. I think most of them today are things that I like or my family likes, and that's what I'm doing today.
Okay.
So the rest of the things today will just be those things that I like or my family likes. So we'll get there.
Well, hopefully we like them too.
You would if you were here, that's for sure.
We're not allowed to be out these days. We're supposed to be staying home.
That's right. You can just pretend like you're eating it.
Yeah, I can smell it from here.
I'm trying to keep these things simple so that when you do your Thanksgiving, that it comes together really easy. Also, we've actually canceled our Thanksgiving celebration as a family. We just think it's a good time to put it on pause. We'll probably call each other, maybe FaceTime and talk, but we're just putting things on pause. But that doesn't keep my husband and I from having Thanksgiving. So a lot of these I'll do for us.
Oh, I see. And you have your daughter home right now. Is that correct?
I do. She's home for a while, so she can join in with us too.
Well, that'll be a good Thanksgiving for you still.
Okay, this is real simple. 5-cup fruit salad. So you put a cup of everything in. So I have a can of mandarin oranges, and this is the 11-ounce can of mandarin oranges.
Okay.
I've drained them, so I dump that in.
What was already in the container?
Yeah, it's close.
No, but what was there something already in the mixing bowl?
No, it was empty.
Oh, okay.
It was empty. So I've got my mandarin oranges in. I've got a cup of mini marshmallows. So see my little mini marshmallows. Woohoo! So I'm going to put one left here.
I like that trick.
I'm going to put a cup of mini marshmallows, and then I'm going to put a cup of coconut, and it's just a shredded coconut. I think this one is sweetened, but you can do either because this is sweet enough. So you dump that in, and then I've got a can of pineapple. Now the recipe you have calls for chunk pineapple. I have done the chunk pineapple and it's good, but I really like the crushed pineapple. And I'm actually just going to put the whole can in because I like pineapple. And
we're not going to even measure, just throw it all in there.
Throw the whole can in. Now, if you're doing chunk pineapple, you want to drain it all, but a few tablespoons of the juice. But I'm just going to dump all the juice in with this one.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Just makes it juicier. Okay, and then to that, I'm going to add a cup of sour cream.
Oh, sour cream.
Sour cream. There's something about the sour cream that makes the marshmallows melt and become just wonderful.
Is that true? I did not know that.
I guess that's what it is. Or the marshmallows just decide to melt. I don't know which. Okay, I'm going to mix this all up. And it's done. You put it in the refrigerator and you let it cool. Overnight's really good. So you can make this the day before. And what happens is all those marshmallows melt and then all the fruit in there. And you can add some Marcina cherries, and I've done that before. You can add some pecans. You can do a lot of add-ins, but that's all there is to it. It's a nice salad.
That's pretty easy. Now, will that thicken up as it gets colder? And
it will. Those marshmallows will melt and it'll all thicken up. Now, I did add the juice. I did add the juice of the pineapple in there, so it'll probably be a little looser. So I might have to add a few more marshmallows.
Oh, well, I hate that for you. I think that's something my grandkids might like.
Oh, they'd love this. They'd
Because
love
I
this.
think everything in there they would like, and that's something I could throw together for our Thanksgiving dinner that they would probably eat.
And it's sweet and fluffy when it's done. It's just wonderful. And you can do it the day ahead. That's what I like.
That would be easy. And all of that stuff you could have on hand because it's nothing that you have to worry about expiring or anything. So,
nope. You just have to keep out the mini marshmallows and not eat them all.
yeah.
Okay,
those go on top of sweet potatoes.
That's true. So whatever I got left on the bag, I'll put in my sweet potatoes. You're right. You're right. Okay.
Yes. Well, that was an easy dessert and a nice, light, fluffy one. I like that.
Yeah. Now, come Thanksgiving, I don't consider this dessert, but today I'll consider it dessert.
It'll be just a side dish,
Yeah,
for now.
Yeah, I gotta have pumpkin pie. I mean, that's all there is to it. Okay, let's set this aside.
Okay, I like that idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Here comes another easy recipe, and it has sort of become a staple for my family. I think I remember my grandma making this, and possibly my mom, but it's so good. It is actually a Jiffy corn casserole. So,
now, I've seen a lot of those different ones done, but let's see how yours is.
It's really simple. Again, a simple recipe. You need a can of cream corn, and you need a can of regular corn. And then you need a box of Jiffy Mix. You need 1 cup of sour cream. And then you need 1 stick of melted butter. Butter's our staple, right, Bonnie?
Yeah. Well, it makes everything better.
I actually had to bake this up ahead because it took 35 minutes to bake. So all I did was just mixed it all together. I mixed
everything in there.
My can of drained corn. I mixed my can of cream corn. I mixed in a cup of sour cream, a stick of melted butter, and my box of Jiffy Mix. I mixed that all up, and you can add things to this to make it fluffier and yummy. So what I added to mine, let's see here if it's still hot. Here's mine done.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah. And what I added to mine was I added half a cup of cheddar cheese. And then it suggested that add an egg, that it would make it fluff up a little more. So I added an egg to it too.
Well, that looks good. It looks like it fluffed up just fine.
Yeah, and you can see that melted cheddar cheese in there. It looks so good.
So you just spoon that out. You don't cut it up like a cornbread, right?
Nope, you just spoon it out. It's like a spoon bread. Yeah.
Okay.
And very easy recipe. You know, this baked, it baked in this is an 8x8 pan. It baked at 350 for about 35 minutes. And then it was done.
It's a bunch of easy things you can throw in and just have ready.
It is. It is. So let me get this off, and we've got another one we're going to do.
You're going to have a really good Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm going to have a really good lunch today.
True.
Okay, this next one, I love this next one. It's called a carrot spoon bread. So a lot like the corn, but this is carrot. So let me tell you how I did this and show you here. I actually cut the recipe in half, so I got half of it baked, and I'll show you what I do with the rest of it. Okay, I took 3 cups of carrots. Well, I took a bag of carrots. It was like 1.5 pounds, and I peeled them, and then I run them. I shredded them. So I have shredded carrots.
Okay.
What I did was I shredded my carrots, and then I put them in a microwave safe bowl. I had 3 tablespoons of water, and I covered them with plastic wrap, and I stuck them in the microwave for 4 minutes. And what that does is gets a lot of the juice. It'll steam them and sort of cook them down a little so that they go in this spoon bread really well. And then I drained them, And then I put these in the refrigerator last night because the other half I got done. And that's your carrots. So those are done. Let them cool before you put them in with everything else.
So that microwaving step is an important one.
Yes, you have to sort of steam the carrots, cook them a little.
Okay.
If you put them in here raw, they'll be sort of crunchy. I mean, you can. I wouldn't like it as well as I like the little bit of cook because it's just sweeter. It's just really good.
Okay, good.
So cook your carrots a little.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I've got my carrots done. I'll take 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and I've got my flour measured out. I'll add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to dump that in my bowl, and I've got that all measured out. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of packed brown sugar. So let me get that in there.
Looks good so far.
This is a little sweet and it's just really good. And the carrots just add something else to it. I just really like carrots. So I'm just going to mix that up together. And then to this, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of melted butter. Imagine that. Butter.
Imagine that.
Okay, I'm going to stir that up. And to that, I'm going to add 4 beaten eggs. Since this is half a recipe, I'm only going to put 2 eggs in.
Go for 2, right? Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to beat them before I put them in there, so I'm going to put them in a separate dish. And then we'll beat them up a little so that they get combined.
Okay, I have a totally random question while you're beating eggs.
Well, if you put them in like this, they don't get incorporated as well.
No, I said I have a totally random question while you're doing that.
Okay.
The flour deal,
Okay.
is that the same as self-rising flour? Could you do that differently? Because I think I've always bought self-rising flour. Is that all of those extra ingredients that you added?
Yeah, if you get self-rising flour, you probably need to look at the equation. You probably don't need to add as much baking powder and baking soda. So okay. Yes, you do need to look at that. And probably on the back of your bag, Bonnie, it'll tell you what that equals. So if you do get self-rising, and if you add the extra, you'll just have it way up here.
Okay. I just think I've always bought self-rising flour, and I didn't know if you could skip those steps if you had self-rising flour.
I will have to check that. So okay, I will look into that. I think you've asked that question before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I don't know that I even remember.
But self-rising flour does have the leavening in it. So I just don't know what the equation is to that. Okay. To all-purpose flour.
Well, maybe somebody will know. Maybe somebody can comment, and maybe they know already.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I've got that all mixed together. I'm going to fold in my carrots. So I'm just going to dump those in there and fold in my carrots. And it's really not that hard. So another pretty easy recipe. And like I say, this one is so good. Okay, so I've got those folded in. Look at that.
Ooh, that looks good, actually. I'm not a huge carrot fan, but it looks good.
I think it calls for a 2-quart baking dish, but I've already got half of it baked. So I'm going to put mine in a bread pan size, and that way I'll have 2 little ones. So I'm just going to spray my pan, and that just keeps it from sticking. And then let's get this over in there. And then I will put that in a 350 oven for about 50 minutes. You'll know when it's done. Same thing as a cake. If you touch it, it bounces back. It's done.
Right.
Same thing. Okay, let's put this in our pan.
Now, since you're making 2 of those, can you save one of them? Freeze it or something?
I don't see any reason why you couldn't, after you bake it, freeze it. I think the better thing to do would be give it to a neighbor, or if
that's true.
If you know a senior out there that is alone and perhaps won't have anything for Thanksgiving or would like something like this, take it to them. You know, that's probably what I'll do.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah, take it to poor Bonnie.
I think poor Bonnie's going to be eating plenty on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, see, that's in my pan. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
will
that
bake.
looks nice.
I'll put this in the oven and I'll bake that. And then
The magic oven.
the magic oven, I've got one out. Look at that.
Wow, that looks really good.
It is really good. I think the sweetness of the carrots and the sweetness of the brown sugar, it's just really yummy. It's really yummy. So
Good job. That looks beautiful.
So we have our 5-cup salad. We have our Jiffy corn casserole. And now I have my carrot spoon bread. Now you could do this ahead, but I'll tell you, this is best when it's just a little warm. So maybe just microwave it for a few minutes and get it warm if you bake it the day before.
Oh, that looks good.
Okay.
Great side dishes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not cooking turkey today because we're going to do turkey next week. So I want to show you something that's very easy and something that if you don't want to do the whole turkey, that you could do. So let me show you what I've done.
Gotcha.
It's a casserole.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's on top of that? This
is what I've done. This is stuffing on top.
Oh, okay.
I will tell you this. If you're going to buy box stuffing for Thanksgiving, you better look around because I don't think it's out there very much. I think people are buying that up.
Oh, okay.
I actually went to Dollar General last night to get stuffing and some things. And of course they didn't have any. So I ended up making my own stuffing, which isn't that hard, but it is extra steps. So let me tell you what I've got in the stuffing. The basic stuffing, I just got a loaf of bread. I got the little thicker Italian bread. Okay. I tore it up into chunks and I put it on a lined cookie sheet and I put it in a 400 oven for about 12 to 15 minutes just to toast the bread.
Okay.
Just to get the bread toasted. So then on my stove, I took I think a half a stick of butter and I put that in my skillet. I cut up 1 onion, 2 stalks of celery, and I cooked that until it was tender, until the onions and the celery was cooked. I added 2 garlic cloves. I think the recipe called for 4, but I only used 2. So you just basically do onions, celery, and a little garlic if you want in butter. When that's done, I set it off the stove. I added a little poultry seasoning, but it just called for salt and pepper, and you can add whatever you want. Rosemary, thyme, whatever you want, whatever seasoning, but I like poultry seasoning. So I added that to it, a little salt and pepper. And then I took my breadcrumbs and I dumped them into my onions and my celery and my garlic. And I stirred that all up. And then to moisten it, I took 3 cups of chicken broth and added an egg. Now you don't have to put the egg in if you don't want to. And I stirred that up and then I poured that over my breadcrumbs. Now I had a little more than what I needed, so I put that in the bottom of the dish. But that was my stuffing.
So that was pretty easy.
Yeah, if you're going to make, it's just a few more steps. So if you're going to make homemade stuffing, that's the way it's done. You can add all kinds of things in, mushrooms or sausage or whatever you want.
My dad used to do oyster stuffing.
You could do oysters if you like.
It was always a favorite, and we've not had it since he's been gone, so I miss that.
Not everybody in my family are oyster fans, so I'd have to be careful of that. I like them. So what this dish is, if you can see on the bottom, you probably can. I actually had some chicken breasts cooked, but it did call for you to cook some chicken breasts on the stove, like 4 minutes on each side and lay them in the bottom. But I pulled my chicken all apart. Now you could do this with turkey. You can buy the rotisserie chicken or you can buy the rotisserie turkey breast too. And you can just tear it out and put it in the bottom. So that's what's in the bottom of my pan.
Okay.
It's chicken today. I just tore it up and put it in the bottom. There was probably 2 cups of chicken in the bottom. It was
Okay.
2 breasts, maybe. They were big breasts though. So it was, so anyway, my chicken's in the bottom. On top of that chicken, all you have to do is put a can of cream of chicken. Now, I didn't have a can of cream of chicken, so there's a cream of mushroom in there. It's cream, right? So
they kind of are all interchangeable, aren't they? I mean, for the most part, you can use you can take your choice.
Yeah, it's whatever you find in your cupboard, right?
Exactly. And
So
I probably have cream of mushroom also.
Yeah, I got my chicken on the bottom. I covered, and it's cooked chicken, and I covered that with my mushroom soup, my can of mushroom soup, and put that all over the bottom. And then I just put my stuffing on top. And I sort of squished it down. And I put a little bit of parsley, dried parsley on top, put it in the oven, and I baked this in a 350 oven for about 35 to 45 minutes. It was closer to the 45 minutes. They did suggest to put it back in the broiler to brown the top, but I thought it looked fine.
I think it looks great. I mean,
So
you could almost use that for after Thanksgiving leftovers even.
You could, or you could even do this for Thanksgiving. You'd have the turkey on the bottom and your dressing on top. Why not? Right?
That's true. Yes.
And like
Good
I say,
idea.
you can get rotisserie turkey breast, I believe, and I know you can do the chicken, and that just makes perfect. So that's our dish today.
And that was simple and easy.
It was simple and easy.
Totally easy.
So guess what we get to do next, Bonnie?
What do we get to do? Maybe taste?
Look, empty plate. Let's fill that plate up.
I want to see everything. Yes. Put it on a plate.
Okay, so we'll start with our chicken and dressing, which it would be turkey and dressing if I was closer to Thanksgiving. And I don't know if you can see that, but well, this here you can see better. It's lovely. It's got the chicken down in there.
Chicken looks good.
Smells delicious. Smells delicious.
Nice.
Okay. Let's scoop up some of our corn or our carrot spoon bread. Got a little. There's that. Yummy.
See, I've never seen that before, so that looks different.
Yeah. Okay, and let's do a little bit of our Jiffy corn casserole. Or is that what they call it? Jiffy corn casserole. And there's that one.
That looks much better. That looks much better.
Yummy.
I like corn better than carrots, so it looks better to me.
Okay, now my 5-cup fruit salad has not set, but you know, it's still good. It's all good stuff. So let me put just a little dip of that on there. So that'll go in the refrigerator. Okay, there we are. Look at that.
That looks great. It looks like I would need a nap afterward. Definitely. Just like on Thanksgiving Day.
That's right. So Bonnie, what would be the first thing you'd eat?
Oh Lord, probably the chicken and stuffing for sure.
Yeah.
And the corn for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm anxious to try all of that. You'd have to have a bite of the salad in between just to break it up a little.
You would. You would. So let's try the corn casserole. That would be my first one.
Yeah, that would be. Yes.
That's like a corn muffin. That's like,
but like more moist and more. Yes.
Like a corn muffin.
Cheese in there.
Yeah, cheese is in there. Let's do a bite of the carrot. I love this one. That's more cakey than the corn pudding or the corn casserole. It's a little cakier. It's really good.
Go for turkey.
I am going to need a nap after this. Look at all those carbohydrates.
That's what I thought. Lots of carbs.
Hey, isn't that what Thanksgiving is about?
And if we have to stay home, I mean, that's what's happening these days is people are staying home and eating and cooking and hanging out at home.
And I think a couple times a year we need to feast. And that's what this is all about. Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful, and it's time to feast and enjoy good things. It's actually a time to enjoy family, even though this year things are a little off.
Yeah.
We can still enjoy family. Just need to call them, check on them, talk to them.
Yep.
Maybe
eat in front of them. Eat in front of them.
Yep. So anyway, let me taste the turkey and stuffing. Oh, yeah.
It all looks fabulous.
I taste garlic. My husband may not eat this. I taste the garlic.
Did you put sage in that?
I put poultry seasoning, which has sage in it, but you could just do sage and thyme and things like that.
I love sage in it. That's one of my favorites.
Well, that's what you could add to yours. But this is actually pretty simple. There is a lot of carbohydrates. So after you eat this, make sure you go out and take a walk outside and burn some of those carbohydrates off. But
and then take a nap and watch football.
Take a nap and watch football.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Well, it looks fabulous. And so next week, what are we doing next week? Like right before Thanksgiving?
Yep. I'm going to do a 1-sheet Thanksgiving pan.
Okay.
This is also going to make it simpler for you for Thanksgiving because you'll have everything on one cookie sheet.
Oh, okay.
Just you or you and a family member, you don't have all this food to get rid of. You have just one pan cookie sheet.
Oh, I like that idea. That's a good idea.
We'll have stuffing and some vegetables, and we'll have turkey and some other things, a little bit of surprise on there, but they'll be on one cookie sheet. You have to bake them in, a little bit at a time, but we'll get there.
Okay. Well, that sounds fun too. Well, the meal looks great. So I'm jealous that you have that for lunch. But
and
supper and tomorrow.
Just remember through the holidays to get out and enjoy the sunshine and walk a little bit, like say, get the carbohydrates from around here. And just remember to stay healthy. And to do that, you need to stay in, wear your masks, eat good food, stay independent. And what's the last one? Healthy.
It is productive. Healthy, independent, productive. We're going to stay hip. And that's our goal. So we will see you next week. It looks fabulous. Go eat. And thanks for doing it again. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.